Okay, so let me ask Sushil Pandit, who's saying as to why, this is not an apples to orange comparison, because the fact is that Pakistan is using this as a geopolitical strategy. It's not the Pakistan cricket team that is to be held responsible for this, it's the Pakistan army and the minders in the ISI who should be held to account for this. By stopping cricketing ties, are you stopping terror attacks from the other side, Sushil Pandit?
Zaka, first of all, let me congratulate you for framing the entire issue up front in the program at the very nub of this entire problem. It is our lack of consistency in our response to Pakistan that we are today at this predicament as to how to deal with them. When Mr. Ayaz Memon says that sporting events, international sporting events, have a purpose and they go on irrespective of bilateral political relationships between the countries, I must remind him, about 45 years ago, India walked out of Davis Cup final because South Africa was on the other side. And the issue was apartheid, a faraway issue from India. No soldiers were bleeding on that issue. None of the Indian citizens were facing that issue. But we took a stand. Therefore, international sporting events also have a precedence. Two, if India-Pakistan relations today are at a low ebb, it's not because India has decided to do so. They threw out our High Commissioner Ajay Bisaria on 7th of August 2009. India did not scale down these relationships. They shut down all trade. India did not. They stopped import of even medicine. India did not. And they did it at a considerable cost to themselves.
Okay.
Yet they did it because they took a stand. We have never taken a stand. Even on this issue, 400 crores is something that they need a lot more than we do. If there is an issue of propriety, if there is an issue of political morality, if there is an issue of our Jawans losing lives to their terror bullets, it is us who should be calling the shots, not Pakistan in this relationship.
No, that I agree with you. That I agree with you. At the end of the day, it's our soldiers who are getting killed. It's Pakistani terrorists who are killing our Indian soldiers, and therefore it's time for India to take a position on this. I want to get two callers before I get in our Pakistani guest on this. Indrani is calling us from Jaipur. Go ahead, ma'am. Thank you for speaking with us here on Brass Tacks. What is your view? Should India snap cricketing or any kind of ties with Pakistan as long as this terror tap continues?
Yes, thank you, Zaka. I'm giving me the chance. Actually, I am an avid fan of cricket. Okay, and till last I forgotten the date. Watched the India-Pakistan match, which was lashed out by rain.
Correct.
Then restarted again, and it was there just. I think India won with a maximum victory, but we should stop this cricket match, any kind of ties with Pakistan.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Let me go across to our next caller. Natarajan is calling us from Bengaluru. Yes. Good evening, Mr. Natarajan.
Hi. I heard some of your people talk, and I think the message comes across very clearly that we have not been consistent.
Yep.
Which means you are giving confused signals to the other side, and they take advantage of it because that's the way they are. Okay? So I'm very clear, we should not play cricket. If by any chance in the Asia Cup, it is Pakistan versus India finals, I think Rohit Sharma should walk out and say we are not playing as a protest. Here is a letter from the entire cricket team. Keep your cup and walk out.
Okay, thank you very much. Let's see if that happens. I don't think it's a call that the cricket captain should be taking. It's a call that the BCCI as board should be taking. Let me also get one more caller in. Colonel Surinder Arora is calling us from Noida here in the National Capital Region. Yes, Colonel Surinder Arora.
Yes, Jagger, thanks for getting me on to the net. I don't agree with all that's going on. Snapping cricket ties has no meaning at all.
Okay.
What we need to do is to drive home that if you kill 3 of ours, we'll kill 50 of yours. You have so many terror camps, we have full details of them. The political lot has to give the go-ahead to the armed forces. And before you have the next cricket match, let's have two extremist camps wiped out. Then go ahead with your cricket. It doesn't make a difference. That's my view.
All right, Colonel, thank you very much for joining us. The next 4G, I think that's a fair point as well. But let me ask Faraz Saeed, who's a senior journalist who's joining us from Lahore. You know, Faraz, the thing is, it's not like terrorism is an issue just between India and Pakistan. Pakistan is facing something similar from at the receiving end from Afghanistan. And there have been instances in the past where the Pakistan Cricket Board has said, we won't play cricket with Afghanistan, we won't have any kind of people-to-people contacts with Afghanistan until this issue at the border is resolved. So why is that any different from what India is saying? Or what the sentiment or the overriding sentiment here seems to be that, you know, you can't have this tenuous arrangement where, you know, your soldiers are getting killed on the one side and you make this rather convenient distinction that we won't play them in bilaterals, but we'll play them in multilaterals because there are ICC commitments to be met. It doesn't work. It doesn't cut.
I personally am not a cricket fan. Neither I propose that, you know, countries should be playing cricket. It's an absolute wastage of resources and time. But, you know, when it comes to Pakistan, India, cricket, that is the only source where people-to-people collaboration or people-to-people relationship is established. I mean, I am very much against jingoism becoming a tool for the policymakers to make policies to win the next elections. I mean, Pakistan and India is losing $35 billion worth of mutual trade. That is the cost. If we close down the cricketing path, that means there is going to be absolute hostility. Why do you bleed? Why do you cry over your martyrs today? Is because there is hostility between the two countries. And if we close down the only peaceful cricketing avenue, there is going to be greater hostility. That means
no, but Faraz, you don't see the obvious irony in your argument. You're saying peace on the one hand, and cricket is a means to or an avenue to peace, but there is no peace. 3 of India's soldiers have just been killed, a major, a colonel, and a deputy superintendent. That's not peace.
Well, that's
not
problem.
Peace.
No, that's the problem. That's a problem. Pakistan has lost 70,000 lives in the past 10 years to terrorism. We have been the biggest victims of terror.
This is a false equivalence. I've been hearing this for a number of years. Yes, Priyanka Chaturvedi. Yes, this is a complete false equivalence. I don't buy this argument at all.
No, I'm sorry. I'm not on this debate to give a platform to Pakistan and for Pakistan to defend that how it is a victim of terrorism. I'm sorry. This is absolutely unbecoming that we gave a platform to a Pakistan journalist and he comes and says they are the actual victims of terror. A day after we have lost 3 of our men in uniform because of terrorism being sponsored from Pakistan.
That wasn't my point.
And I'm supposed to be hearing his point of view. I'm sorry.
By the way,
I'm sorry. I will not be participant to a debate which has Pakistani spokespersons coming and making a case for their country.
I just want to also underline the fact that this is a stated position from Pakistan right from General Musharraf's time, right from Sharm el-Sheikh. The word victims of terror,
why should we be listening to it? Why should we be listening to their stated position? Don't we all know what their stated position is? Their stated position is to bleed India through 100 cuts.
I do not agree with the Pakistani position that they are victims of terror.
I am sorry, I don't want to listen to what their policy is. I don't want to know what their thought process is on this particular issue.